Hello, and welcome to Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Daniel Pineda. We have a great program this week. We have our news stories, community bulletin board, and 55 plus news. But first, a social media reminder. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/ArlingtonWeeklyNews and the number 1. Also on Facebook and WERA 96.7 FM. And now on to our first news story for this week. Arlington County's COVID case site reported data as of September 26th. The total case count on that day was 60,835, a 6-day increase of 291. As for vaccinations, we examined Arlington County's vaccination tracker on September 28th, but the promised weekly update only ran through September 23rd, an interval of 5 days. The inconsistent reporting intervals and the staggered data collection dates made the result difficult to interpret. As of that date, the black ribbon on that chart states that 209,107 eligible Arlingtonians have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. However, adding the 189,212 fully vaccinated population to the 16,113 partially vaccinated population results in a total of only 205,325, a discrepancy of 3,782. They still show that figure as 85.5% of their estimated eligible population of 240,119 Arlingtonians. The 209,107 would actually be 87%, not 85.5%, so the vaccination figures are obviously faulty. The chart also shows that 34,794 Arlingtonians, now including young children, remain unvaccinated as of September 23rd. We do note that the still unreached 90% of vaccination target was established at a time when a single dose was considered sufficient for most people. We find it quite unfortunate that the unreliability of the county's statistics overshadows the statistics themselves. Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for 5 through 11-year-olds is still available at the following locations. Arlington Mill Community Center, that's located at 909 South Dinwiddie Street, and Walter Reed Community Center, that's located at 2909 16th Street South. Walk-ins for 5 through 11-year-olds are available Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. In addition, free Pfizer and Moderna COVID vaccines are available for children as young as 6 months by appointment only. For more information, consult the Arlington County website. Raytheon Technologies Corporation is an American multinational aerospace and defense conglomerate headquartered in Arlington, Virginia. It is one of the largest aerospace intelligence services providers and defense manufacturers in the world by revenue and market capitalization. The Pentagon recently announced that Raytheon has won a $985 million Air Force hypersonic missile contract. The company has received the go-ahead from the Air Force to move beyond the prototype phase and continue development of a new hypersonic cruise missile weapon. The Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missile is an air-launched, maneuverable weapon propelled by a scramjet engine that allows it to travel up to 5 times the speed of sound. It is designed to hold high-value targets at risk in contested environments from standoff distances, the Air Force said in a news release. Work is expected to complete by March 2027. Raytheon's missile is powered by an engine developed by Falls Church-based Northrop Grumman Corp. A test flight of its weapon in July propelled it for more than 300 nautical miles and reached altitudes higher than 60,000 feet at speeds reaching greater than 5 times the speed of sound, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency said. DARPA is a partner with the Air Force on the project. The Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, NVAR, has sent a letter to the Arlington County Board expressing concern over the county's missing middle project. The letter expressed doubts that the study and the resulting framework would deliver the desired outcomes of more diverse and equitable housing options. Primarily, they are concerned that the study does not consider home ownership as a goal for the missing middle framework. Arlington's own Affordable Housing Master Plan, AHMP, calls on the county to incentivize the production of moderately priced ownership housing through land use and zoning policy. Yet the published results of the framework fail to examine if the proposed housing types were more likely to be developed as rental housing or ownership opportunities. Home ownership has always been an important way to build wealth and financial security and remains the standard marker of the American dream. According to the National Association of Realtors, NAR, the net worth of a homeowner in America in 2021 was about $300,000, while that of a renter's was $8,000. That results in a net worth 40 times higher for homeowners versus renters. This home ownership gap extends and perpetuates a racial wealth gap. The net worth of a typical African American family today is $17,150, while that of a typical white family is $171,000, even though African Americans earn, on average, 60% of the income of whites. 1 in 2 Black renter households spend more than 30% of their income on rent, and about 28% of the Black renter households spend more than 50% of their income on rent. Without a plan to encourage home ownership of this new middle housing, these gaps will persist, and renters will continue to be overly cost burdened without any of the benefits of home ownership. Finally, they are concerned that a zoning change of this magnitude should deliver significant results for housing supply and affordability, but without additional policy changes, this plan will not. The letter concludes, as a local, state, and national association, the realtors have significant resources available to help the county build consensus for this new policy. From housing market data and expertise to community grant programs which can fund community polling, forums or events focused on land use, zoning, housing opportunities, and smart growth. Please let us know how the realtors can be a partner with the county on this endeavor. Thank you for your consideration. The letter was signed by Ryan McLaughlin, Chief Executive Officer.
Next, a story about the tree canopy in Arlington. Some Arlington residents have expressed considerable concern over the impact of the proposed missing middle plan on Arlington's tree canopy.
Good morning. My name is Susan Land, and I'm speaking today on behalf of the Arlington Tree Action Group. ATAG has serious concerns about how the new missing middle zoning will affect the tree canopy in Arlington. The current proposal reduces the required tree canopy on private lots from a current 20% minimum to only 15% for duplexes and 10% for triplexes.
Ms. Land, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is duplicative testimony about the missing middle.
talking about the effects of
I'm
missing metal on
asking
the
for your
tree
help
canopy.
in respecting rules. If we turn every county board public comment session to a de facto hearing about the same issue.
It's about environment.
Sorry, thank you. I really appreciate your understanding. I submitted
We decided to do some comparative analysis, but encountered some complications. We were able to locate reporting that, as of February 2022, about 22% of New York City was covered by tree canopy. However, an examination of Arlington County's website shows data from only 2016, which is some 6 years out of date. For some reason, there were two sets of figures. With the Department of Defense and airports included, the coverage was 38%, and with the Department of Defense and the airport excluded, the coverage was 41%. The reason for excluding these two locations is unclear, unless it was simply to increase the reported percentage. After all, excluding all the other areas without trees might raise the reported coverage to 100%. At any rate, it appears that an updated calculation is overdue for Arlington. The 1300 block of North George Mason Drive provides an illustrative example. The heavily forested area has been replaced with large mansion-style houses and is now split in two by the new Lacey Lane. Arlington's website also contains some curious statements such as, and we quote, "We will work with everyone to help increase our tree canopy where appropriate, but plantable areas may be used for other purposes, including other ecological systems such as meadows, recreational fields, or programmed space such as the county fair." End quote. A meadow might well be described as an ecological system, but applying that same term to a recreational field raises more questions than it answers. Does the ecological term apply to baseball diamonds, football stadiums, or soccer fields? As for the missing middle impact, perhaps the proponents could consider incorporating tree houses into their designs. That's enough news for this week. Now it's time for Community Bulletin Board, or CBB.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Our first event comes from the Arlington Public Library. It's called Memory Cafe. Join in for activities and discussions to engage the brain. The group meets twice a month. Memory cafes are designed to give people with early-stage Alzheimer's opportunities to socialize and engage in group activities such as listening to music, singing, playing games, and drawing. Participants can make activity suggestions. Refreshments will be provided. The facilitator is Arlington County Aging and Disability. Registration is required. You can register online at the library website, but all attendees must be accompanied by a caregiver. For more information, contact Ingrid Kaufman at ikauff@arlingtonva.us. For the current policies on masking, see the Library Operations Update. That's on Tuesday, October 11th from 1:30 to 3 o'clock p.m. in the Quincy Room at Arlington Central Library, 1015 North Quincy Street. Our next event is for families. Join in for some fun at the park. You can meet a naturalist or historian at a neighborhood park where you'll learn about the nature and history of Arlington. The staff person may bring hands-on learning items, artifacts, or activities. The event will be canceled in case of rain. That's on Wednesday, October 12th from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. at Lacey Woods Park, 1200 North George Mason Drive. Our next CBB event is for adults. It's called The Bootleggers' Guide to the Parks. During Prohibition, illegal liquor was produced throughout Arlington County. Join park historian John McNeil for some stories of local bootleggers and government raids as you take a short walk to one of the area's drinking establishments. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 612-742-A, and that's on Friday, October 14th from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. at Roslyn Highlands Park, 1559 Wilson Boulevard. Our next CBB event is for families with kids age 6 and up. It's called Invertebrate Mayhem. Join a naturalist and explore the world of microinvertebrates. You'll learn about how these tiny organisms play an important role within their ecosystems and how they give us more in-depth understanding of the health of the environment. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 612-952-Z. That's on Saturday, October 15th from 11 o'clock to 11:45 a.m. at Long Branch Nature Center, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Finally in CBB, the Fall Heritage Festival. Each fall, there's a gathering around the Walker Log House to celebrate the nation's heritage. Join in this year for a family-friendly day of fun. Step back in history and try some old-time games and crafts, or make a cornhusk doll. You can try on a coonskin cap, work a cider press, write with a quill pen, churn butter, and enjoy old-time music. You can even bring some old pants and a shirt to make a scarecrow. You can drop in any time between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock p.m. The cost is $5. The activity number is 612-852-V, and that's on Saturday, October 15th from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center, 3608 Military Road. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Fall is here, and that means the return of some delicious seasonal fruits and vegetables, including apples, pears, raspberries, eggplants, pumpkins, parsnips, and much more. Join Virginia Cooperative Extension Master Food Volunteers to learn fun new ways to use your favorite fall ingredients and get some tasty recipe ideas for the holidays. The next event is called Hey Pumpkin. I bet you can guess what that's about. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 911-501-04, and that's on Tuesday, October 11th from 11 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock noon at Lubber Run Community Center, 300 North Park Drive. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Next up, Autumn Leaf Art. Are you inspired by the beauty of fall? Here's a chance to get crafty and creative using autumn leaves with community arts programmer Liz Steinbach. All supplies will be provided. I guess that even includes the leaves. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 911-310-02, and that's on Wednesday, October 12th from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. at Aurora Hills Community Center, 735 18th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Next up, Halloween treats. Celebrate Halloween and learn how to make some fun homemade treats to enjoy with family or friends. A Virginia Cooperative Extension Master Food Volunteer will demonstrate and provide recipes. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 911-890-05. That's on Wednesday, October 12th from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. at Aurora Hills Community Center, 735 18th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Our next event is called Movie Discussions. They're calling all cinema lovers to meet to discuss a new film every month. October's selection is called Leave No Trace. It's from 2018 and it's rated PG. The film centers on a girl in her early teens called Tom, played by Thomasine Harcourt Mackenzie, and her dad, Will, played by Ben Foster. He's a veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder who can't abide society, and so they live in an 8-mile forest on the edge of Portland, Oregon, in makeshift camps they have to dismantle every week. They must leave no trace because residing in a municipal park is illegal. Plus, Tom's supposed to be in school. She's okay with this, though. Her mother died when she was very young, and she's never known anything else. All films are available to stream on Netflix before the group meets to discuss. The group meets on the second Thursday of each month. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 911-402-04, and that's on Thursday, October 13th from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. You gotta be 55 and up. 55 plus membership is required, and this is a virtual event. Finally, in 55 plus news, Black Poetry Day. Here's a chance to learn the history of National Black Poetry Day and how black poetry resonates in Arlington County. You'll be inspired by poetry readings from 3 local black poets and get to participate in question and answers with the poets. This program is brought to you in partnership with Cultural Affairs, a division of Arlington Economic Development. You can register online at the Parks and Recreation website. The activity number is 911-400-18, and that's on Monday, October 17th from 10 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock noon at Walter Reed Community Center, 2909 16th Street South. You gotta be 55 and up, and 55 plus membership is required. Anyway, that's all I got for 55 plus news.
And now some commentary. It is not often that we mention a single property being offered for sale. In fact, this may be the first time ever. The address listed is 3800 Fairfax Drive, Unit 1304. The neighborhood is Virginia Square. The property type is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condominium comprising 1,721 square feet. The listed price is $815,000. There are comments on the ad. Here they are. Noteworthy: direct views of the Washington Monument, U.S. Capitol, and National Cathedral. Watch the fireworks from your balcony on this 13th floor, expansive 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with over 1,700 square feet. Uninterrupted views of the Washington Monument and memorials from floor-to-ceiling sliding doors across your living room with an open living room/dining room. The separate kitchen is freshly painted with stainless appliances. There is a huge pantry/closet that can double as a workroom. Parquet floors are throughout. A large primary bedroom with ensuite bathroom and 2 closets includes views of the Washington National Cathedral. In-unit laundry is included. one parking garage spot conveys, close to the elevator. Enjoy all the amenities of Tower Villas, a full-service building with 24-hour concierge, pool with lifeguard, recently updated fitness center. Condo fee includes electricity, water, trash, and cable TV. Virginia Square Metro and Ballston Quarter are steps away. Easy commute to D.C. and National Landing via I-66. Open this Sunday from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. This quote ends with an exclamation point. Although the amount of the condo fee is not specified, fees for this type of unit usually range as high as $500 per month. In this case, there are monthly dues of $1,260. Who can afford to purchase this unit? There are a few possible candidates, such as anyone who owns a house outright that they can sell for a net after-tax profit of $815,000 and can also afford the additional $1,260 monthly dues. Using the real estate industry's 28% formula, affording that fee would require an annual income of $54,000. The next question would be why anyone would exchange an entire house for a living space on the 13th floor with a single parking space. With mortgage rates running at 5% and above, another candidate would be a buyer with an annual income of over $245,000. Of course, that assumes that they also had already made a down payment of $163,000. A police officer in the 90th pay percentile makes less than 1/3 of the $245,000 amount. Even an Amazon employee in the 90% pay percentile makes roughly half of that $245,000 annual amount. This commentary is only offered as an analysis. It really can't be called an exposé because the price is already being advertised, and we saw it featured in Arl Now. The next questions that come up are about how the duplexes and quadruplexes from the Missing Middle project would be priced, and who could afford to live there.
And that concludes this week's show. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, and be well.